Hey there, Gemini Bay. Welcome to your December 2018 general reading. I'm Princess India if we haven't met. It's a pleasure to meet you. But anywho, this month is also Shidu's birthday month. So on the 22nd, we're going live and I'm giving away stuff. If you've been cross-watching, you've heard that 1,000 times already. But as a thank you to you, I have a discount code in the description box below. So if you want to utilize that this month to get a personal reading with me, you're more than welcome. But anywho, we're going to look at what general energies you guys will be experiencing in the month of December. But I'm also going to take a look at, because it is the last month of the year, we're going to look at, with my surrender deck, what things you would want to embrace or release in 2018 and going into 2019. Because if you don't know, the month of December is also your preparation month. Usually we put a lot of emphasis on, you know, making those changes and whatnot on the 1st of January, but it's a lot more helpful to start in December because you always want to have a plan, you know? Because, you know, going cold turkey with anything, you know? Even if you're like incorporating something new isn't always the best idea. So we're going to see what energies come up from a Gemmies. You're in good company because I am a Gemini rising. You know what I'm saying? But Spirit, please give us insight into what it is that Gemini needs to embrace and or release in the month of December. Please, Spirit. Leaving out of 2018, going into the wonderful, fruitful year of abundance, that of which is 2019. You know? Aren't you excited about the new year? I am. Oh yeah, like I've been telling everyone, I may be twitchy-eyeing it for the simple fact that my contacts are, you know, old, you know? So, I may be making weird faces, so I'm okay, just dirty contacts. That's one. But, yeah, man. My eye appointment's tomorrow, so. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm going to get new contacts tomorrow. I mean, unless they okay. And we have cards that fell. I hope they give me, like, a trial pair. That would be dope. That would make me very happy. But anywho. So the first card that we have for Geminis is Surrender to Setting Limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. A great book to read on that is Learning to Say No. I believe the author's name is Carla Hills or something of the sort. You can find it on Amazon. Super great book on setting boundaries. Like, walks you through the whole process and even the backlash that you get from people when you start setting boundaries. Next, surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths, exhale the tension you've built up in your body, let the stress go as you come back to center. With this, I think it would be super dope to start utilizing mindfulness meditation, just in the simple fact that there's so many benefits to it, from learning how to control your thoughts, to stress reduction, to, you know, making your frontal lobe on fleek and what's not, or whatever. Next, we have surrender to inner peace, which is another thing that is created by meditation. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis in quiet meditative moments. Focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. I'm telling you, man, even if you start with just 5 minutes a day, whoa. And then we have surrender to silence. Like, legit. Mindfulness meditation is like your thing for the month of December. Because, like, even like with my little energy deck and how they have like the inner temple card, or in the Work Your Light deck, how they speak of the inner temple and things of the sort, it's like the way to enter one's inner refuge is amidst silence. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like your gateway into the sacred space that you carry with you everywhere. You know? Surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. Now, something that I know, right? Geminis, air signs, thinky thoughts, right? So the whole thing is here, even though we have one more card, I'll get to that in a second. But the thing that I'm seeing here is a theme. It's almost as if, right, one wants to be helpful, right? And one may feel guilty for telling people no, because it's a thought of like, you know, people need my help, so on and so forth, right? But allowing people to cross those boundaries then causes like guilt, right? Because it's something for yourself that you put to the side to help someone else, right? If you tell a person no, then that invokes shame, right? And then it becomes either me obsessing in my thoughts about, man, you know, I really didn't have to do X, Y, Z. I really could have helped them. And, oh, I hope they're not doing it by themselves. Or if, you know, you say no or you say yes, it's the thought of like, oh, man, I'm behind on this. Like, I really shouldn't have said yes. I really don't want to go to this. I really don't want to be here type of deal, right? So, or even just different life stresses, like worrying, obsessing over things, and constantly thinking about it, right? And feeling very anxious and almost out of control of your life. You know what I mean? Because of that, you know? So it's almost a little bit like when we think about setting limits, it's a form of protecting ourselves, not being a jerk, because it's unfair to yourself to allow other people to take advantage of you. You know what I mean? So the last card that you guys have is Surrender to Wonder and Awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. Yeah, man. So it's a lot of like releasing. Very similar to the card that Capricorn got about surrendering to miracles. It's really about having that childlike wonder and awe. Like, way back in the day when you believed in, you know, Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and you believed that anything was possible. It's almost approaching life with not, like, blind optimism or being irrational. It's opening up yourself to being surprised. Like, living every day in a spirit of expectancy, right? So as you vibrate at that frequency, you start to draw those things into your life, right? So it's more or less like, you know, it's very easy to get into, you know, the thought of monotony and, you know, day-to-day humdrum type of deal. But, you know, start finding beauty in the most simplest things. And I kid you not, the more time that you spend in meditation, like, how you hear me say that sometimes, like talking about downloads and things of the sort, it's like, man, the more time that you spend in quiet, you will start getting little minor epiphanies about a myriad of different things where you're just like, whoa, that's interesting. Oh, never thought about it like that. You know what I mean? Because the thing that drowns out Spirit's voice is obsessive thinking and anxiety. Did this happen for you guys last time? It was this Virgo when the sun started casting through my window in this very weird way. Okay. But yeah, so anywho, but that's the whole deal with that. Meditation is most certainly like probably one of the greatest tools that will completely revolutionize your life. I kid you not. So anywho, we're going to jump into your general energies for the month. I felt like I wanted to ask you guys if that's bothering you, but it's not. You can answer me right now. I like the sunshine, though. Maybe I should close it a little. Whoa, that changed the color dramatically. Okay. So anywho, Spirit, please give us clear and direct guidance for my Geminis, please, Spirit. Anything that is of utmost concern to them in the month of December, anything they are conflicted about, anything that they need insight on, I ask that that be revealed in this reading. I ask that you offer them clear and direct guidance for the month of December, Spirit. Anything that is hidden, I ask that that be brought to the forefront. Any insight and clarity that is needed. And I thank you in advance, Spirit, because I know you're good for it. You know what I'm saying? One more time, and then we're good to go. Okay. Y'all are acting funny. Come on, cards. What's going on with y'all? Camera shy? Are you camera shy? Okay, so central energy, our challenge. What is behind you? What is before you? What is above you? And what is below you? So, central energies for my Jimmy Gems. The Fool. Ooh, new beginnings. Very interesting. Now, when we talk about wonder and awe, this, oh, good, or not that. So, the Fool legit just, like, jumped off the cliff from my desk. So, anywho, we're not talking about you flipping off cliffs and things, but okay, that's in reverse. We don't want that because that's recklessness. But anywho, so with the Fool, right? This is exactly what I mean when we talk about wonder and awe, right? The reason why the Fool can take these risks, right? Hanging from a cliff and not even tripping about it, you know, is for the simple fact of a grounded and rooted trust in spirit. So there's nothing to worry about. Like, homeboy doesn't need to carry too much baggage. You know, he's traveling light. You know what I mean? And he's just going through life. So, of course, this is the after tarot, but, like, you know, in the regular tarot, it's like he's just on there, you know, all whimsical and whatnot. But that's the secret to his fearlessness. And that's kind of how it is when you allow yourself to follow spirit and to be led by spirit in all of your decision making. It's like, to, you know, an onlooker, what you're doing could seem completely asinine, completely crazy. That makes absolutely no sense. But it's like, you're really not tripping because you know it's spirit that's leading you to do it, right? So that's pretty much like the overall energy you guys are going to be dealing with this month, is transitioning into this space of worrying less and like trusting more and allowing yourself to be guided by your inner knowingness. And meditation is a way to cultivate this inner knowingness. You know what I mean? So the challenge for you guys is the 8 of Cups. So this is beautiful. This is walking away from things that are no longer serving you. What is going on? Goodness. Anyway. But this is walking away from things that are no longer serving you, right? And this is interesting. Y'all are going to be taking some risks this month. Calculated risks nonetheless, right? So here's the thing that I feel really compelled to say about this. Some of you guys have put a great deal of time, effort, and energy into something, right? Whether that be a job, a relationship, friendship, what have you, right? But I feel like this month is going to be very revolutionary for you guys in the sense that it's almost in a ascending, like coming out of agreement with a lot of things that you felt bound to, you know what I mean? And not necessarily like in a forceful sense, but it's more or less if you think about almost as if like being invested into something and feeling for a long time in your life that this was the end all be all, and suddenly realizing like this isn't it, and deciding to go out in search of that thing. You know what I mean? Like something that's more reflective of where you are in your space currently, right? But I don't really necessarily feel, I mean, of course, it's going to be a challenge, but I feel like the inner knowingness you guys are going to have, like, I mean, the intensity of this pull is going to be so profound that it isn't necessarily a challenge. It may be thinking about, like, you know, the interconnectedness of, like, you know, logistical type of things. But I feel like in a heart space, it's like you guys know that you know that you know, you know? But I feel like the true challenge within this, right, is going to be maybe those that you disappoint. Like say, you know, if you were a part of like a team or something or a company for a very long time and then you making the decision to part ways, and the thought of like, you know, they're going to be disappointed. And that's where that kind of goes back to the setting limits. It's like knowing that your happiness and your bliss and what's in your highest good is what is at the forefront. That's what's of utmost importance. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live your life. You know what I mean? You have to go to bed every night feeling at peace with the choices that you've made. You know what I mean? So I think that with that may cause a tad bit of stress, especially if you guys kind of had issues before, like I described before, of like, you know, feeling guilt or, you know, shame for not being there for someone. But I feel that the importance this month is you guys being ever present and being the support system for yourself, right? So that's what I feel like is going to be the biggest challenge about you guys going in the direction of what you desire. So it's a lot like how it was for Capricorn, but I feel it a lot more intensely. It's just really starting a new path. And it's perfect to be doing that in December, because going into 2019, it's pretty much letting me know you guys are putting your ducks in a row to be equipped for this shift that you're making in the next year that is coming, right? So in your past influence, we have the 5 of Cups. So there's grief there. It's grief and it's loss. You know what I mean? So you guys may be in like a liaison phase here. There may be something in the past that you guys may have like severed ties from and kind of grieved the loss. You know what I mean? And you guys are now going through like presently the rebirth cycle. So it's like you've had your time of grief. Now you've kind of picked your head up. You see your 2 cups behind you, right? Something that's more in harmony, something that's more in alignment with you, like I saw with the Fool card. And now you guys are making that action to move on. So you guys presently, like as I speak, are in this transition phase. So I feel like you guys have already come out of the darker energy of kind of grieving and, you know, not being present and kind of like being in your head, like all of the things we saw over here. So some of you guys may have already kind of started to cultivate like a meditation practice or a yoga practice or what have you. You know what I mean? Your meditative walk-in, meditative mindfulness, tea drinking, whatever the case may be. But it's you guys moving past this energy and it's shifting into more of a positive, optimistic, like this is right for me. So I kind of feel like this reading for you is more or less going to be confirmation that you made the right choice, so to speak, right? Now, what is below you is the 9 of Wands, right? Now, this is something that we want to be mindful of, right? Because this, again, is like fears that are kind of rising up, right? You've been through a great deal. You know, you're trying to be positive, right? You're trying to be optimistic. You're feeling spiritually led to go in alignment with what will bring joy into your life, right? But I feel like here and there, and this is just kind of like, I wouldn't necessarily say a forewarning, but it's just kind of like a heads up that, you know, old habits die hard, right? So if my atypical coping mechanism for, you know, challenges that I face in life. So say hypothetically, this is somebody being disappointed in the choice that you're making. The first choice that I'm going to think to make is shifting back to my old way of dealing things, which is self-compromising, like I want to make them happy, and then kind of stressing, overthinking, because it's like, I really want to do this for me, but I don't want to disappoint them. You know what I mean? So just be mindful of that. And it's like, even if you find yourself falling into it, don't beat yourself up over it. You know, change takes time. It's just redirect your thoughts. Go back to your central focus, which is the reason why you're doing this in the first place. You know, let that be your guiding light in this process. You know what I mean? And have that courage to stand up for what is important to you and what you desire. And another important thing about setting boundaries is not taking on other people's burdens. You know what I mean? Our own burdens are difficult enough to carry. So you don't want to have to carry another person's burdens. And then trusting and knowing in the fact that people, all of us, are equipped to handle our own crap. You know what I'm saying? So it's not your responsibility to, you know, it's not another person's feelings are not your responsibility. And I say that lightly. I tread lightly when I say that. Not to say that you should go around hurting people's feelings, but just in the fact of how a person chooses to feel about a decision that you're making that's in your highest good. If they're for it, then super dope. If they're not, it's like you can respect their mind, but don't allow that to influence what you're doing that you know is in your highest good, if that makes sense, right? Now, what's above you, we were just talking about standing your ground, is the Seven of Wands. So that's the thing to keep in mind. I mean, I literally just described this card before I turned it over, but yeah, it's reiteration of what I was just saying. It's like the importance here is for Gemini to stand up for Gemini, because it's time for Gemini to take care of Gemini, because what Gemini desires, what Gemini needs, Gemini's dreams, all of those things are of utmost importance. So to me, the theme going into this next year is embracing that, of saying that you have the right to choose you. You have the right to make yourself a priority. And anyone who tries to challenge that, stand your ground. Remember why you're doing it in the first place. It's not you being selfish. It's not you being self-serving. It's like, you want a little cup of happiness too. Can Gemini get some happiness up in here? I'm just saying, dagnabbit son of a gun. So moving forward, we have the Three of Swords. No need to worry here, peoples. So the thing is here, just like with the Five of Cups, right? There's a level of grief that has come, like almost breaking your own heart, right? Because of this, the thinking, the obsessive thinking, right? But the beautiful thing about this is you guys are going into a space now where it's like no more, you know? It's like I've spent many, months, years, decades of my life allowing stress and worry and being overly concerned and self-compromising to wound me, right? In the midst of this, I've consistently been resilient when I was tired, and I couldn't help, but I still found the strength to do it, right? Or when I bent over backwards for other people and then when I needed them, they weren't there for me, and then stressing about that, you know what I'm saying? Of like, well, why isn't this person showing up for me? And so on. I've sacrificed so much. This to me is saying no more, no longer will I be in conflict. No longer will I be in pain. No longer will I be in unrest. No longer will I allow my thoughts to torture me. No longer will I prioritize everyone else above myself. Why? Because if I'm not the best me, then I can't be the best anything else, right? And that goes for every facet of our lives. If you aren't your best self as an individual, you can't be the best mom. You can't be the best dad. You can't be the best employee. You can't be the best boss. You know what I mean? You can't be the best, rugby team member or spades player, whatever it is you do, But this is Gemini now going into this space of no longer self-compromising or self-wounding, going into this healing space, confident, standing their ground, right? Embracing this new beginning wholeheartedly. And like I've said 1,000 times already, making yourself a priority. And to me, that's beautiful, This is you taking those swords out and saying no more, which is why I think that this came up in your below energy. It's the fact of what you've experienced past tense, it is going to come up again. There are going to be people that disapprove of your choices. But it's like each time it's you taking a sword out and saying, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. And what's after the Three of Swords? Four of Swords. It's going to that healing space. It's detoxing, right? It's being conscientious of what I'm thinking. It's with our mindfulness meditation, being able to not judge my thoughts, being able to differentiate between that of which is me and what I'm thinking, because I'm not what I'm thinking. Thoughts are just coming through. I look at thoughts almost like vibrational frequencies in a sense. So it's almost like we're walking antennas, right? And there could be a person that passed you on the street and their little frequency shoots past your antenna. The antenna is an antenna, so it's always going to pick up on frequencies that shoot by. But whether you decide to stay on that station and continue to listen, you know, to that little frequency wave and what it's saying, it's up to you, right? Prior to us practicing mindfulness meditation, we take our thoughts as our own, you know? It's like when we're thinking something, we never notice or are unaware that we have the choice to minister to it or not, right? And more often than not, we minister to it because we assume because it's there, it's mine, it's suggesting something to me, it must be true, so I'll go with it, right? So this is more or less the process that's behind the thought. But I feel like with you guys taking this mindfulness seriously, and like I said, it's something as simple as starting with just 5 minutes a day and increasing it each week, you know? Maybe starting 1 week at 5, maybe 2 weeks at 5, and then the next week going to 10. You know what I mean? It's not needing to sit on a mountain and do this for like hours, okay? So nothing like that. But it's like starting to because when you're doing meditation, it's like a lot of times you'll try to like, oh no, I'm thinking about this. Oh, I shouldn't be thinking about this. Nah, just allow the thoughts to rise up. Don't judge them. And it's like, as you get accustomed to that, you'll start to see that in your everyday life when thoughts rise up. And kind of like what I said with Libra, the thought rises up and you're able to categorize if this is high vibrational or low vibrational. In the event that it's low vibrational, you know you want to release it, right? Kind of like what I said with Capricorn. If it isn't in service to the end goal and it's low vibrational, I'm releasing it. You know, I'm not going to minister to this thought. I'm not going to give it energy, right? And each time that you do that, each time that you overcome this habit of falling back into thinking negative thoughts or stressing or obsessing over things, that's each time you're taking a sword out. That's each time you're getting closer and closer to your healing space. You know what I mean? And that is like beyond dope, beyond awesome. And I'm extremely happy for you, Gemini. Because the next thing that you know, this will be you all day, every day. People bring stuff to your doorstep and you're just going to be like, I choose peace. Dagnabbit son of a gun. Because all will be well. Because just like the Fool, trusting in your higher power, knowing without the shadow of a doubt that everything is always working out for your highest good, that trumps everything. Hashtag Trump card because it's a major arcana. You know I had to throw that in there. So anyway, I'm going to pick one last oracle card for you guys before I let you go. And then I will see you again for your love reading. And for some reason, Gemini, I'm going to tell you this. I'm so ecstatic about the love readings. I don't know why. But it's like, I'm like, I need to hurry up and finish everybody's reading. Because I was like, I need to do these love readings. Because I just feel like they're going to be like, you know, saucy and things of the sort. So anyway, Spirit, can I get a card for Geminis? A Peace Out Oracle. Parting words. The benediction. For my Geminis. Oh. And we have 2 cards. The first card is Camel. Trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. Yes, you do. And I'm so proud of you for it. All of this growth. And Capricorn had that too. The Blue Heron. Make a stand for what you believe in. And do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I'm so excited. Mindfulness meditation and setting boundaries are your resources. Put it in a toolkit, dagnabbit son of a gun, I said. That is so awesome. I love this deck. It's so eerily accurate. Damn, so bananas. But anywho, Gemini, that has been your December 2018 general reading, my dear. I love your freaking faces. And I'm going to see you guys, you know, like, probably tomorrow for your love readings. But deuces. See you soon. Love your face. Discount code below. and whatever else is down there. Okay, bye.